Progress and perfection are two separate concepts. You have to remember that, or you're going to burn out quickly. Welcome back to the pod, guys. It's Tia. Welcome back, lovelies. This week's been a lot, actually. I'm also filming and posting on the same day for the pod, which I never do, but this week has just truly been insane. We started out with Sunday, April 19th, with my 2-year sober date from alcohol. So that's kind of the premise of this whole episode, actually, because I don't know, I've just been reflecting on progress versus perfection a lot. And then today is April 24th, Friday, the release date of The Great Divide by Noah Kahan. Anyone who knows me knows I've been waiting for this for a minute. So, did I stay up and listen to the album at midnight? I did. Did I get absolutely destroyed by the whole album? I did. If you haven't listened to it yet, you should go listen to it. Dashboard really hurt my feelings so many different times over, and I have, yes, listened to Dashboard probably at least 30 times since midnight. Don't ask why, don't ask how. If you are a close friend, you already know what I'm talking about. Anyways, as I've been reflecting on the last 2 years of my sober journey and just therapy and figuring out my life in this season, I don't know, I've just been thinking a lot about how early on I put a lot of pressure on myself to do things perfectly immediately. And here's the thing. Younger me would be very upset to know this, but 2 years later, I still don't have things perfect. I don't. And yeah, we know that in theory, we will never get anything perfectly right in this life. But it's just it sounds nice to aim for getting things done perfectly. Have I stayed sober? Yes. Very grateful for that. That's really good. Have I gone to therapy? Yes, I have done that. Have I made all the perfect life decisions though on that journey? No, I have not. And we know inevitably we're not going to make great decisions all the time. But I think there's this pressure, especially when you layer in things like therapy or sobriety, or when you declare to yourself or people around you that I'm going on my healing journey, I'm going on my self-discovery journey, that you've got to be hitting your marks all the time. That just isn't how things go. I think I've hit a lot of the marks that my younger self set out for myself. And that's really cool to say, and that's really awesome, and I'm really proud of that. And I think that even when we hit these milestones, it's just easy to still get down on ourselves about the things we didn't do. And so yeah, I don't know, I've just been thinking about that a lot, because there are some decisions that I've made in the last 2 years during the whole sobriety journey that are not great. Anyone who knows me very, very, very personally knows this, that I have my personal feelings around that. But the thing is, I think this is the thought that I've been sitting with more so recently, as I've been just continuing the therapy thing, continuing the self-reflection thing. Progress isn't about perfection. It's about moving in any direction at all. That's really all that it comes down to, really. Because all steps, even baby steps, are still steps in a direction, right? And they may not be perfect steps, and you might fall down, but you at least tried to move in a direction. You didn't stay in one place. And I think that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. You're not bad at your journey that you've chosen to take simply because you fell down, or simply because, oh, I didn't get there fast enough. You're still moving in a direction. Hopefully it's towards the direction that you want to go at the very least. And if that is the case, you are moving towards the direction that you want to go, that's pretty much all that progress is supposed to be. You might not get there as fast as you want to, and you might just be, having to take a detour, or yes, there may be a hiccup, a not great decision, or maybe sometimes life just happens and it pushes you back, it sets you back, or slows you down. That's okay. As long as your eyes and your mind are set on the right direction, so to speak, and you're still trying to inch your way towards that goal, towards that person that you want to become, ultimately you're still making progress. It just may not be at the speed that you want it to be. Very rarely in life do things pan out the exact way we want them to be. It just never works out like that. You know what I mean? And I want to say, okay, I'm going to walk it back. It's not that it never works out. It's not that things never work out the exact way we want them to be, but it's not always that way. There always has to be that room for that 10% chance that things might not go how we want them to go, because there are so many things that are out of our control. And I think like that has been the biggest realization that has set in over the last 2 weeks in a different way. I think we all know that in theory, there's so many things in life that are just a wild card. And then there's the other things that are like within our reach that we can be intentional about. And the thing is, like, I think throughout my life, I have tried so hard to control everything, even though there's like only a small portion of things in my life I can control. And ultimately, I feel like that contributed to like where I ended up in my journey with having to be in a place where I had to actively choose sobriety and getting therapy and things like that. Because I held so tightly to everything else that was not supposed to be in my grip. And that's not to like say I'm blaming myself or anything like that, because there's so many things that were happening that did not have anything to do with me. But like for my part in my life, there's some things that I just didn't need to have my hands on. Truth be told, there is like in my case, the personal pressure of being the oldest kid, oldest daughter, and in the family that I come from. And I think what's happened recently is I've been able to like offload those things more. Not saying I'm running from my family or running from my positions that I have in my life, but being able to understand what actually holds weight versus what doesn't. That way I'm able to actually continue my own personal journey as it is. Instead of me trying to, I don't know, like micromanage everyone else's journeys, maybe, and, micromanage details of things that don't always affect me directly. It is such a humbling experience to have to let those things go and to have those boundaries. But I'm finding that as I'm understanding that those are part of like a perfectionist mindset, and that's actually not contributing to my personal progress, I don't know, I just feel mentally lighter, which is really cool. I think I'm returning to true form, so to speak, of who I am. And maybe for the first time, really understanding the person that I actually am at my core, because I have space to do that now. And the thing is, like, that does take peeling back a lot of layers intentionally to, I don't know, you have to meet with yourself. You have to be okay with really, truly meeting yourself, and not just like the person that you think you are, but the person that you actually know that you are when no one else is there. That's a really scary place to be at, because it's easier to like manage the like emotional makeup, the mental state of the person that you are to the public or to your friends or your family, versus who are you when the lights are off and you're alone in your home or you're alone with your thoughts. Who's that person? Who is that person? Who are they? What are they thinking? What are they really feeling when you strip away everything else in life? And the thing is, that's the person that you should be supporting the progress journey of, not the idealistic version of you that everybody knows and thinks that they love. Not saying that they don't love you, but you know what I mean? Like, the person that you project is different from who you are. And there's been a lot of conversations that I've been around in the last couple weeks around that as well. And that just kind of like ties back into like, the progress thing, because you could be making public progress in that sense of like, where you want to be seen, who you want to be perceived as, but you have to take that journey with yourself first. And I mean like the actual you. You have to take that journey with your actual self before you can truly decide who you are to everyone else. You're stuck with yourself. Newsflash. That should not be a scary thing. That should not have to be a scary thing. And part of that journey, as you like heal and progress through like whatever that looks like for you, is for you to love yourself. And I don't mean like in this like egotistical, narcissistic way, but like you have to understand yourself first. You have to put in the work to understand you first and love yourself properly first, because that spills over into everything else. Kind of like what I said in one of the prior pod episodes, but like you have to be willing to believe that you are worthy of the respect and kindness that you give to everyone else, because that becomes the filter through which you allow other people to treat you in the way that you allow life to happen to you in a way. And you can't leave that part out of your healing journey. You get to reshape that framework for yourself. And I don't know, that's just like such a cool thing. It just like goes back to boundaries and the whole people pleasing thing that we've been working on. And yeah, once you start believing those good things about yourself, I believe that from that place, you're able to start making better decisions for your life also, because you're protecting yourself then from that place. You are looking out for your own future from that place. And again, you're not going to make perfect decisions by any means whatsoever, but life just happens in your mind differently as you try to work on that place of self-acceptance, self-love, self-understanding. I don't know. I've just been noticing that as I also observe my friends who are going on their own journeys, as they learned to properly, fully accept who they are, fully love who they are, and like go on that super, super personal self-healing journey, self-discovery journey, their lives look so different now compared to what they did like 6 months ago. And that is seriously the coolest thing to watch pan out. But the thing is, that didn't start until they did the inner work. And I don't mean like therapy speak only inner work. I mean like, are you taking care of yourself? Simply put, are you leaving space for yourself to be a full human being with a full human experience? And are you giving yourself the same grace that you give to everyone else? So that way you can have those inner dialogues with yourself fixed, have a better understanding of who you are and what you actually want out of life. So that way you can experience life from that filter instead of what you had before. Everything starts on the inside of you. And that is a beautiful thing and a scary thing, because on one hand, that can be a really great thing if you're in a good place. And on the other hand, it can be a really scary thing if you're not in a great place, because it really does overflow from there. But you're here today, which means you've got another shot at going on that journey with yourself again. It may be baby steps today, or you might make some really big life-altering decision today that will change the trajectory of the rest of the year. Either way, you are changing direction. You are making steps forward for yourself, and even baby steps, like I always say, are still steps forward. You get to decide what happens to you from here, and that is a really, really beautiful thing.